This video, I'm going to show you step by step on how to create modern business card in Photoshop print ready template without any stress. All you have to do is to make sure you watch this video from the beginning to the end and see how you get it done. So with that being said, let's dive into the tutorial and see how you create a modern business card print ready template in Photoshop. But before we dive deep into the tutorial, if you're very new to this channel, remember to click on the subscribe, turn on the notification bell so each time I post content like this you'll be notified. So let's get started. The first thing you want to do is to make sure you come to the top right here and you have to create a new, go to file and make sure you click on new. Then you have to come to the top right here, title your design, modern business card, then come to the width, make sure you type in 3.25 and then your height should be 1.75, make sure inches is checked. Then come to the resolution color right here, make sure you enter 300 as a figure. Then your color should be CMYK color. Finally, come down below here and click on create. Next thing you want to do is to grab your ruler, both vertical and horizontal, then make sure it's snapped to the page like this. Then the next thing you want to do is to go to the home tab right here, go to image. Then from image, make sure you look for canvas size. Then from the point here, under the canvas size, you have to add 0.25 for the width. Then you come to the height, make sure you add 0.25 for the height. Come to the top right here and click on OK. Next thing you want to do is to drag your ruler, both vertical and horizontal. Make sure it's snapped to the page. Next, go to the home page right here, go to image, and make sure you click on canvas size. Then at the point here, make sure you type 0.25 for the width. And come to the height, make sure you type 0.25 for the height. And come to the top right here, click on OK. Next thing we want to do is to go to our toolbar right here, click and hold down. This time around, we have to make sure we choose our rectangle shape. Having choose rectangle shape, we come to the top right here and we make sure shape is checked right here. And we can change the color from the point here to another color of our choice. Next thing you want to do is to come to the workspace right here and draw your rectangles. It might be as big as possible. Then you have to go to the move tool. Top right here, make sure you type in -20. And once you're done, next thing you want to do is to position the shape. Once you're satisfied, next thing you want to do is to come to the top right here. Click on this check mark to confirm the transform. You can close this window for now. We don't need it. Next thing we want to do is to go back to our layer right here. We select our background layer. Having select your background layer, you have to come back to your toolbar. We have to click and hold down right here. We'll make sure we select our rectangle shape again. Then having selected your rectangle shape, you have to come to the top right here. Make sure shape is checked. Then you can change the color from here to another color of your choice for now. Then we have to come down to the bottom right here and draw another rectangle. Then the next thing we want to do right now is to locate this particular layer. Then we have to come back to our layer panel right here. We create a new layer. Having created a new layer, we have to close this window tab. We don't need it for now. Then we have to go to our toolbar. We click and hold down. This time around, we have to choose our rectangle tool again. Having choose our rectangle tool, then we have to come to the workspace right here and draw another rectangle. Then this new rectangle, we have to make a duplicate of it. And we have to go to the move tool first. Then we can come to the top right here, close this window. Then for us to make a duplicate, we have to come to the layer panel. We right click. And we have to look for duplicate layer. Then we click on OK. Next thing we want to do is to go to the home tab right here. We go to edit. Then we look for free transform. So this duplicate one right here, we're going to take it to the top. Once we're satisfied with the adjustment, we have to come to the top right here and we click on this check mark. Next thing we want to do is to go back to our layer panel right here. We have to press Ctrl key down and select the rectangle 3 shape. Then having selected the 2 shape, the next thing we want to do is to make sure we align to the left edge properly. Then the next thing we want to do right now is to come back to the layer right here. So what we want to do is to click on create a new group. So we are going to group the 2 layer. Next thing we want to do is to come to the home tab right here. We make sure we click on select and we click on all. So what we want to do right now is to make sure we align this into vertical center. So what we want to do next is to go back to select. At the top right here, we make sure we deselect. Next thing we want to do is to tap in with our arrow key a little bit. Next thing we want to do is to locate this layer. And then we have to come to the layer panel right here. And what we want to do next is to double click on the layer thumbnail. and color is going to pop up. Then from here, we have to change the color. Then you can see the color code I used for this shape, and I'm going to hit on OK. Next thing I'm going to do is to come to my layer panel right here. I'm going to right click on the layer panel, and I will come to the top right here, choose blending options. From the point here, I will have to choose, I will double click on the pattern overlay. Then I will work on the Then you can see the pattern I use for this particular one right here. You can pick on any other pattern. If you don't like any one by default on your Photoshop, you can select on any one from this angle right here. So once you're satisfied with the effect, next thing you want to do is to make sure you come to the top right here, hit on OK. Next thing I'm going to do is to make sure I locate this layer. Then I'll come to the layer panel right here. I will double click on the layer thumbnail. Then I'll change the color from here. Now you can see the color code I use right here. I'm going to highlight, right click, and I will copy the color code. I will come to the top here and click on OK. Next thing I'm going to do is to make sure I locate this layer. Then I will double click on the layer thumbnail right here. Then I will have to come here, Ctrl A to highlight, Ctrl V to paste the color code. Then next thing I'm going to do is to come to the top right here and click on OK. Then I have to locate this particular layer. I will double click on the layer thumbnail right here, and I will come to the color code right here. I'll press Ctrl A to highlight, Ctrl V to paste the new color code, and I'll come to the top here and click on OK. Alright, so at this point here, I have done with my simple layout design of the modern business card. Next thing I'm going to do is to enter text and icons into the business card. So let's check it out.